CTV News at 6 with Joe Perkins.
Good evening. Thanks for being here tonight. We begin in the Kootenay Lake area where the search continues for 4 people believed to be buried after a massive landslide crushed 3 homes in Johnson's Landing Thursday morning. Still missing a father, his 2 grown daughters, and a female tourist from Germany. The search for the 4 people resumed today after being delayed yesterday because of wet weather. Rain continued to fall heavily this morning, forcing rescue crews to wait for geotechnical engineers to decide if conditions were safe enough to proceed with the search. Crews will focus on a home on the mountainside where the father and his 2 adult daughters are believed to be located. Today, the brother of one of the landslide victims, Ray Weber, broke his silence over the phone from Guelph, Ontario. He says he believes his brother is trapped.
It's top of my list of why I think about it, that Val, Rachel, and Diana are together either in the basement or in an area of the house where she had enough space in it to house them until rescuers can get in there.
The landslide is blocking the only road into Johnson's Landing, leaving the area accessible only by air or water. About 40 crew members equipped with heavy equipment to wade through several meters of rock, mud, and trees are searching the area. Well, as the search effort in southeastern BC continues, closer to home, emergency personnel are practicing for the worst. Imagine a school bus jam-packed with children pushed onto its side after a collision with another vehicle. For parents, it would be a nightmare. For first responders, it would be a challenge, but practice makes perfect, and that's why in the Comox Valley today, fire crews and emergency teams spent a day handling what would be a worst-case scenario. CTV's Jet Bassey has the story.
Whoa. Where are you hurt?
One by one, they take them out. Firefighters and paramedics responding to children trapped in a bus. You can hear the child's pain as she cries. It's a mock accident scenario cooked up by the various Comox Valley first response teams. An opportunity for the organizations to hone their skills for the real thing.
So all of those things that you have to think about in an event like this are being dealt with by the crews.
The school bus was headed to a scrapyard. They thought, why not put it to better use? After 3 weeks of planning, it was time to put the fire departments and BC Ambulance Service to the test. They were challenged by many scenarios: a biker pinned under a bus, victims in cars, and a school bus filled with kids, all needing medical attention.
We train together all the time in Comox and Oyster River. Wherever we get an opportunity, it's vital to doing scenes like this, to know each other, know what equipment they have.
Cumberland Fire and Rescue Chief Mike Williamson is calling the shots.
Okay, we got one patient right here and one patient over in the bush.
Okay. He leads his crew on how to manage the situation. He orchestrates the game plan on how to rescue the victims as safely and quickly as possible.
Everybody needs to stay calm, complete their tasks, and report back. And if that all happens, things run smooth.
The 30 firefighters on scene work together on their tasks. Some break through the windshield, cut through metal, and get to the frightened children.
The first responders that are in there have to hand-to-hand pass these people out on spine boards, out through the front window, and so it does take a lot of people to do that. 5
paramedics were on scene attending the victims. It was an opportunity they couldn't pass up.
We had about 29 patients with injuries that were made up as real as they could be, and overall the triage and treatment component went very well.
The commanders were pleased with the performance of the crew. They safely rescued all the victims in 90 minutes. They will debrief and smooth out the wrinkles of the operation, working together to improve just in case. Jet Bassey, CTV News, Black Creek.
Well, if you didn't see it, you likely heard it. The powerful storm rolling across Victoria last night. It started early yesterday, and it sent people on southern Vancouver Island scrambling, some for their cameras, others for cover. Now take a look at these photos sent to us from Doug Clement of Doug Clement Photography. This shot was snapped last night. You can see Mount Baker there in the distance as lightning pours down in the forefront. In Saanich, more lightning near Mount Doug as the sun sets in the distance. And it wasn't just photos people were taking. Take a look at this home video sent to us by Debbie and Brian. They were near the Oak Bay Junction trying to capture some of the lightning on camera when all of a sudden they get exactly what they asked for.
That was a little scary.
The crackle and pop yesterday is being blamed on an upper disturbance over western Washington, which is spreading moist, unstable air into the southern part of the province. While there was a fear of forest fires sparking from the storm, BC Coastal Fire Centre says there were no fires reported last night. There were some power outages overnight, though. Those power outages affected more than 300 homes. Victoria averages only 1 day of thunderstorms every 2 years. Well, it was quite the show in the sky last night. Not the only show in Greater Victoria, though. Last night, the lightning was a big concern for the Rock the Shores. That's the large outdoor concert, the first of its kind in Greater Victoria. Nearly 13,000 people made the trek to Colwood last night for what organizers hope becomes the new face of outdoor concerts on Vancouver Island. And this afternoon, things were still in cleanup mode as crews worked to take down the massive stage and fence line. The sold-out event took over the fields yesterday behind the Wanda Fuqua Rec Centre. The stellar lineup of Canadian bands was led by headliners The Tragically Hip and Sam Roberts. Local bands Jets Overhead and Current Swell rounded out the bill. Organizers were preparing for a traffic nightmare, but that was not the case. People planned ahead by riding bikes and taking buses. The weather, however, did play a role. Around 8 o'clock, the show was suspended because of the lightning, but Sam Roberts took the stage eventually, followed by the Tragically Hip, who went on about half an hour later than when they were expected to go on. That was around 9:30. Despite a few arrests, police say the event was largely issue-free.
No big issues. We did arrest numerous people for alcohol and drug-related offenses, but majority of them were minor in relations.
I'm very, very happy with the way the team we had assembled, the way we were able to deal with it. And pausing the show was the right thing to do. And when we felt confident again that we could put the Tragically Hip on, we did. And when they took the stage, it was an awesome moment.
Organizers say Rock the Shores was a test run, and the plan is to have more outdoor shows in the future. Well, attention aspiring musicians. In fact, attention anyone who knows how to play the piano and is looking for that big break. Your shining moment may have just arrived, and it's situated in Victoria's Inner Harbor. For the next 10 days, 2 pianos will be waiting, ready for any impromptu performance. On the left is 16-year-old Alistair Carruth, the man behind the Make Me Sing project. 2 pianos open to the public for 10 days will be situated in downtown Victoria. The grade 11 Reynolds student says he saw a similar program in London 2 years ago. Since then, he's been working to make it happen here. He got the pianos from his church and worked out the details with the city. Already today, people are stopping to take a look, some to play, and the 16-year-old hopes they do.
I really hope as many people as possible come down and play these pianos. I'd like to be able to come down here at any time in the day during the project and see someone playing on these pianos. But I'm really looking forward to seeing who comes down and plays them.
I think this is a brilliant idea. I think music brings people together, whether they're happy, sad, going through a breakup, or celebrating a birthday party. Music is what binds us. It's amazing.
The pianos are located at the CRD Square and at Belleville and Government Streets. That's the intersection there. The public is able to play the pianos between 9 and 6. That's for the next 10 days. Well, anyone that knows the game knows the strategy. It's simple: dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge. At least that's what the experts will tell you at the 8th Annual Victoria Dodgeball Championships. This is the first year the city has held the championship at Royal Athletic Park. 350 dodgeballers on 42 teams were duking it out in the summer sun, many dressed in what is quickly becoming the norm as far as uniforms go. Prizes go out to the best dressed teams. The city organized the event, or I should say the city-organized event, hopes to raise $10,000 to help send kids from low-income families to camp.
Basically, it's dodgeball like you play it in elementary school. You know, you throw the ball at the opponent. If it hits them, they're out.
Oh, it's a blast. I mean, we're all just out here to have a good time, and nothing better than spending the day in the sun with your friends and throwing some balls around.
Game plan, philosophy when it comes to dodgeball.
Oh, gosh.
just dodge them. That's all we gotta do.
Organizers say they expect to bring in the full $10,000. Proceeds are for the City of Victoria's campership program. A nice shot there from Nanaimo's inaugural Thrifty Foods barbecue outside our CTV News Bureau in Nanaimo. Welcome back. We first showed you last night a Vancouver Island man. He's gearing up for a David and Goliath battle against BC Hydro and its smart meter program. He's taken the first steps in a class action lawsuit, and tonight he's getting some more support. Sharon Noble, the director of the Coalition to Stop Smart Meters, says it's great news. Philip Aldridge was frustrated, he says, and furious when he saw his hydro consumption triple after a smart meter was installed to measure his electricity use. He hired an electrician to check for problems in his home that would explain the hike, but says none were found. And when he says the Crown Corporation refused to clean up the problem, he called his lawyer to begin the steps to launch a class action lawsuit.
I think it's fabulous. This is the only way we're going to stop the smart meter program is through court action. And there have been so many people who have been asking me over the last few months to get a class action suit going. And I think the more people who take action like this, the better.
The coalition already has 2 legal actions against BC Hydro. BC Hydro says the smart meters are accurate according to Measurement Canada. That right there, the place to be on Vancouver Island. Nanaimo's inaugural barbecue festival by Thrifty Foods looks good. Outside our CTV bureau in Nanaimo. Well, it is official. Fundraising efforts for the 15th annual Cops for Cancer Tour de Rock are underway. The bike ride that spans Vancouver Island makes it possible to send kids with cancer to camp, and it seems to bring out the best in people. In Kevin Munn's case, a man with a big heart who will attempt to pull an even bigger object. This year's media writer Aaron Glazier has the story.
Pulling a sled with a 27-kilogram weight, Saanich Police Quartermaster Kevin Nunn is preparing for his next Cops for Cancer fundraiser.
At the moment I'm training up and down Mount Doug Road, pulling around about 50-60 pounds, and yeah, I'm feeling it, but it's all worth it.
3 of his Saanich Police co-workers are riding the Tour de Rock this year, and after raising $2,500 by dyeing his hair Billy Idol white in his first campaign, and $14,000 by running from Duncan to Victoria last year, on September 9th, Nunn will attempt to tow a mini mountain.
I thought, you know, each year's got to get better and try and raise more money, so think of something dafter, and yeah, I came up with the carpool.
When we were approached to have an opportunity to participate in this, absolutely, full-heartedly, why wouldn't we?
But 2,500 pounds is no light feat.
No package on it at all, but what there is a little eyelet on the front bumper where traditionally we can put in a tow hook, and we will work with the apparatus and the harness that he has to make sure that he can safely balance out the weight and have a better shot at pulling this the full distance.
Pulling the Mini around a familiar circle at UVic. Over 12 laps around Ring Road, Kevin expects to cover more than 21 kilometers, each trip between 30 and 40 minutes. Nunn says it is nothing compared to the treatment kids with cancer have to endure.
Yeah, I will have some fatigue on the day and I'll hit a few barriers, my muscles will be sore, but that's nothing in comparison to what these youngsters go through, and they shouldn't have to.
The goal is to raise $25,000, a number the Saanich Police Chief believes he'll achieve.
He's got such an infectious personality. I mean, people can't help but want to help him and support him in what he's doing.
And every penny donated will go towards sending kids with cancer to Camp Good Times.
And it costs around about $1,500 per person to go. So let them go there for that week to be a child, to laugh, to enjoy being a child, and they should.
If you would like more information on Kevin's mini pull endeavor, head online to kevinforcancer.ca. Aaron Glazier, CTV News, Saanich.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'm gonna steal all his bottles.
Kevin is not the only one raising money. The reporter herself, CTV's Erin Glazier, our Tour de Rock rider this year, was out today at her very own bottle drive. This is her first big fundraiser for the Cops for Cancer Tour de Rock. Bottle Depot is donating all of the proceeds from all of their donation bins for the next 2 months to the fundraiser. And while Erin says her counting skills need some work, she did spend the day sorting cans and pushing bins. And she says the support was amazing.
Phenomenal. Random people dropping off beer bottles, people I know. We've commandeered a few folks out of the parking lot and stolen their beer bottles, and as soon as they find out that it's for Cops for Cancer, they just say, hey, take it.
And look who else was there today. CTV's Andrew Johnson, back on the weekend show, dropped by with son Bailey, who wanted to help out too, dropping Daddy's empty Coors Lights into the donation pile. Nice work, Bailey. If you want to help out Erin or any of the riders, you can log on to www.copsforcancer.ca. The team starts their ride on September the 22nd. And we wish them all the best, including Erin, who is working very hard right now. We will have full Tour de Rock coverage when it gets going in September. Until then, enjoy tonight. There is some sun out there. We will see you back here tomorrow night for CTV News at 6. We'll see you then.